Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Dave Neal here, stand-up comic, host of Bachelor Nation News. As you guys know, I'm on location here in Scottsdale, so bear with the audio, the video. It's a little bit less professional, but what I've got for you is a Clare Crawley Dale Moss update. Clare spoke for the first time. None of this sources say, someone's cousin wrote, a best friend in college, I studied abroad with her in Rome. None of that. Clare spoke. Let's listen to what she has to say. She essentially says Dale Moss just didn't keep his promises, and while she has all the receipts, she could share them. She wants to move on. She still loves him. We'll get into all of that. Do me a favor. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I appreciate that. Like this video an odd number of times. It helps the algorithm. It's a very slow time of the season here in Bachelor Nation. I could use every view I can get. But I have been enjoying following Clare's story, and we have a few comments. I'll read this first one just as a reminder for all of the grace you can give her in the world that she's living in. Lots going on. Keep in mind that in addition to the stressors that have been previously discussed, her breakup with Dale, the imminent death of her mother who has been moved into hospice, Clare also very recently disclosed a history of childhood sexual abuse by a trusted priest. Uncovering and acknowledging this kind of trauma is incredibly difficult and absolutely impacts your ability to trust and form relationships. If there's anyone in Bachelor Nation who deserves a little extra empathy and grace right now, given what he or she is dealing with, it's Clare. So let's play this clip. Now, I want you guys to listen very closely. Clare uses, and again, not to make this about me, but Clare uses one of my favorite sayings. Not that I coined it, but makes you wonder. Clare, are you out there? Are you watching the channel? She did send us a message saying she appreciates all the support. So keep giving Clare all of your support. And let's play this quick video here. This is Clare, just a quick clip, and then I'll read some other comments from it, turn the audio on. All right, here we go.
Do you have any regrets at all about your journey on The Bachelorette?
I always feel like I do not want to have regrets. And I don't even know, to be honest, if I would have done things differently, because I was doing the best I could at the time.
There you go.
With the information that I had. And if my biggest regret is trusting a man's words and who he showed me he was, I don't think that that's a regret. Like, I trusted somebody, I believed somebody that they were who that they said they were, or that they would hold up to the promises that they make when they get down on one knee. Like, I don't know if that's a regret, you know. I would still, I loved and have always had such a deep love for Dale. And that A, doesn't go away overnight, and B, like, I don't regret that. Like, I loved loving him.
Wow. No regrets. She loved loving him. And I agree with Clare here. You have to start a relationship off with trust. Trust is something that's started in a relationship and then you take it away. If you're starting a relationship with no trust, either your intuition is telling you that there's something wrong about the other person, or you're bringing your own baggage into it. You're bringing your own past and the guy who cheated on you in college and this and that. With Clare, she started it that way, and then she saw signs. She broke up. They got back together. She saw more signs. Hey, sometimes that's what it takes. And no one's saying Clare's perfect. And no one's saying Dale's a monster here. But they just didn't work out. So Bachelorette says, tagging Abigail should probably be a regret, though. Bachelor Rabbit Hole, I feel for Clare, but let's not pretend Dale wasn't coerced into proposing. I'm convinced he was held at gunpoint by Chris Harrison. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Neal Lane's like, I thought we had a deal. Chris is like, I'll make him do it. Port La Marie says, did best with the information she had. She didn't have any information. She saw Dale and was done with the show. She took zero time to get to know him. Yeah, idiot. But she took the year after the show, and that's when they tried their best. And a lot of people have said, well, if she gave Jason Foster a chance, which you guys know, been a big fan of Jason Foster, he left the show after Clare left, didn't want to stick around for Tayshia. He was like, you sound great, but my heart's with Clare. Hey, Jason, give Clare a call. You're never too late. Anyway, let's just read the other quotes that were put together in this Us Weekly article. Us Weekly ripping apart Clare's interview to monetize it on their own behalf. Who would do such a thing? Subscribe to the channel. We have Patreon content as well, patreon.com/Dave Neal. I have a brand new video up there going into depth about some more behind-the-scenes stuff, what's going on in my life. The theme on this week's Patreon is taking some stuff off your plate to enjoy the moment. That's the theme, which is pretty ironic because I'm here in Scottsdale talking to you guys. And if you can see behind me, my fiance's on the bed waiting for me to finish this. All right. Opening up more than ever, Claire got candid and emotional while shedding light on the end of her relationship. Things are up and down for me just in general in my life. Sometimes it's minute to minute. But right now, I'm okay. And I feel like I'm okay because I'm sitting with a woman that understands my life. We've had similar paths with a lot of things, and it's comforting. I always feel like I do not want to have regrets, and I don't even know I would have done things differently because I did the best with the info I had. She already said all that. We want somebody to love us how we love them, and when it's not reciprocated or it's not done to that level or in that way, it's hard to process that. It's hurtful, especially when they're saying one thing and doing another. That especially, hold on, we got a pop-up. Get the pop-up out of here. No one wants a 4-day wine trip to Chile us weekly. Golly, I mean, yeah, sure, it'd be nice, but get out of there. It's hurtful, especially when they're saying one thing and doing another. That especially stings extra because it's like, ugh, how could you do that to somebody you love? It's hard to pretend things like that. It's hard to comprehend things like that. So, and again, we don't have all the information, but if Dale truly does love her and is showing it in his way, it's up to Claire to understand how Dale's processing that, and then she needs to transition that into how she can receive it. Now, of course, the ideal situation with love language is that he's able to give her the love that she needs, and she's able to give him the love that he needs. Sometimes that can take years, decades. Sometimes relationships never truly understand how to do that, and sometimes you got to have one of those outlet adapters. Like if you're going to Europe, you got to plug your love language into the adapter so that it can work its way into the receiver. Sometimes that's just the way it has to work. But it feels more like she's holding resentment. Like, hey, he wasn't able to step up to the plate. I gave him the shots. And maybe he was given choices. We know that when Claire brought her mom into hospice, he had a gig in Los Angeles he had to go to. And that seemed to be maybe one of the final straws for her. But it's like, hey, work's work. You gotta, this is life. You know, it's all good to make things work in the fantasy suite, but you gotta figure out how to balance making your money, building equity into yourself, because you're gonna need that moving forward in life, and also having a healthy relationship. And that doesn't always work in a world where you're not just working some strict job. Sometimes you gotta choose to go to some party or event because you gotta network and whatever, hobnob with your agents. And that seemed to never really fly with her. Again, not saying he didn't try his hardest. We don't really know. I love big and I want to be held and I don't want to feel bad for like holding someone's hand or touching them. The voices, songstress said before Crawley interjected, hold on, somebody got mad at you trying to hold their hand and wanting to touch them? After Kramer confirmed, the reality star continued, I'll say this, a past relationship, it was verbatim that. And he was like, why are you so angry? Why are you fighting? You're just picking fights. And I'm like, do you realize what I'm fighting over? I'm fighting and yelling at you to hold me, to hug me right now, to give me comfort because I just want to love on you. And I want you to love on me. It wouldn't be a fight to the right person. So Claire's love language, as she's spoken about, at least one of them, ladies, you want all the love languages. You want physical touch. You want acts of service. You want Starbucks gift cards. Her love language is touch. She wants touch. And as we saw in a video with Dale, and again, we only see surface things. She had that Instagram story where she like scared him, and he looked like a ghost, and he just like walked away, and you're like, yikes. You know, maybe a lot of the work he's doing is in his head. Maybe, you know, he's just like a thinker. We talked about neurodivergent issues when it comes to the binder guy. We'll get that video up next. But maybe Dale doesn't process that and communicate his language. That wouldn't be the strangest thing that men don't share their emotions. We're trying to figure it out. There's a lot happening below the surface. So clearly they couldn't get to that place where they kind of understood and trusted each other. They broke up in mid-September when Claire was in New York spending time with him. September 10th, I was there too. Some say I was the reason they broke up. Probably not. Didn't see them. Claire then chose to fly home to Sacramento and asked Dale to send her things. A couple of weeks later, Claire's mom's condition worsened, and Dale chose to immediately fly out to Sacramento to be with her. Dale flew to Sacramento last Tuesday morning to be with Claire, her mother, and their family. On Wednesday, Dale flew to L.A. for a work obligation and had every intention to travel back to Sacramento to be with her, but his number was blocked, which made it impossible to communicate with Claire. It's unfortunate that the next time Dale heard anything from Claire, it was on social media. So those were the sources from Dale's side. Claire hasn't really showed her like the X's and O's about why she blocked and this and that. I loved, and I've always had such a deep love for Dale. It doesn't go away overnight. I don't regret it. So yeah, so Clare blocks Dale. I mean, it's fascinating, guys. You know, we follow this story because it's been close to us, and you have to think that, I mean, I could be wrong here, but I don't think anyone's followed this story closer in the whole universe than our channel. And why? I don't know. Because I see, it's almost like seeing someone build IKEA furniture the wrong way, and you go, no. We can make this work. We can fix this. But they couldn't fix it. So you can read that full article, or you can listen to that full conversation on that podcast. But let me know what you guys think. I'll read a couple comments from you guys. Did you say Dale had red flags written all over him early on too? She didn't want anyone on the season who was doing press, and Homebody literally gave an interview saying he wanted to be the next Ryan Seacrest. My impression of Dale is that he is a very charismatic guy who connects with everyone, and those kinds of people make it seem like there's a lot more there when there's not. They didn't want the same things, and it's been painfully obvious. Should have explored her relationship with Jason, who I thought was her match, and a few others. Sad for her. I hope this is her final pitfall before finding her man. Jason was my #1 pick for Clare before she met the men in the first episode. Jason called into our show when we had the 10,000 subscribers. He left us a nice voicemail. Seems like a great guy. He played professional football, went to my alma mater, University of Rhode Island. Seems like a good guy. I don't know if they've been in touch, but boy, would that would break my internet if Clare and Jason were spotted together. As you know, last week we had a video where Clare was spotted with a mystery man at the San Francisco Giants game. So good for her for getting out there and living her life. It's never too soon to move on and try to just, be in the moment, and we wish the best for her. People have to remember, everyone says, Clare's had so many chances. Yeah, Juan Pablo Benoit, and then this guy. That's not so many chances. I mean, look at you, Cheryl. You're out there every Friday night. You meet a couple different guys. It doesn't work out. I have no. Everyone does that. You meet all the wrong people till you meet your person. And just because Clare's 40, and just because she dated a couple guys on national TV, and just because she jumped at Dale Moss thinking he was the right catch and it wasn't for her, doesn't make her a bad person. Doesn't make her a bad picker. Sure, like the rest of us, you're bad until you're not. She's not like a degenerate gambler who blew her life savings because she can't pick the right person. She struck out a couple times. Join the club, Clare. We hope the best for her. And let me know what you guys think. I'm, like I said, out in Scottsdale. I've got a baseball tournament, so you can follow me on Instagram at dneals. And I got to get Starbucks for my lady. She flew in last night, so we're going to go get some acai bowls, some Starbucks, and load up and go play some baseball. So I appreciate all of your support. Like I said, new video on Patreon, patreon.com/Dave Neal. You can go check that out if you want some extra content on this Friday. Everyone have a fantastic weekend, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye now.